Muy buenas a todos, muchachadas. Estamos en un nuevo vídeo de Trauma Team. Aquí Arpiman desde Gunner Games. Y nos toca otra de estas misiones ultra largas y ultra chungas de Naomi Kimishima. En este caso es Wandering Girl. A ver. Joder, como dure las 2 horas largas como la otra vez. Voy listo. Ahora lleva corbatica.
Dr. Kimishima, the corpse is already here. Are you done?
Calm down, little guy. I said I'd leave in 10 minutes. It's only been 7.
Yes, but headquarters is telling me to hurry.
All right, I'll be right there. Goodbye.
Doctor, wait.
3 minutos. Niña con el gatito. Se va a la derecha.
You shouldn't be allowed here. Do you need something?
Kitty doesn't seem well.
Gatito no se siente bien.
Can you fix her, please?
¿Puedes cuidarlo?
A cat? Why are you asking me?
Because you're a doctor,
Una
miss.
forense.
Hand it over. Looks like she swallowed something. She'll be fine.
Really?
It's common for cats to swallow foreign objects. Still, wait here for a moment.
Okay. Thank you, miss.
Voy a ir a hacer al gato. ¿Qué vas a hacer al gato?
Thanks, huh? Right.
¿Qué vas a hacerle al gato? Wandering Girl.
Sorry I'm late. Is everything ready?
Dr. Kimishima, you're really late. You... Huh?
What are you looking at?
Oh, what happened to your hands?
Un gatito bonito.
A cat did it.
A cat? I never figured you for a cat person.
Be quiet. I thought you were in a rush here. Are we ready?
¿Estamos listos?
Right. I'll get ready now.
Win y mi mouse. ¿Por qué el móvil ese tiene poderes? ¡Qué puto mal rollo! Duele. Uy. La primera carta que pillamos.
I see. So you were cut short too. All right. I'll reel in the thread of truth. Explain the situation to me one more time, little guy.
Little guy, explícame.
Right. A skeletonized corpse was found in a river 50 kilometers out of the city.
Un cuerpo, un esqueleto.
We don't know who it is, but evidence suggests it's a homeless man out walking his dog reported fine. The preliminary cause of death is being ruled as a drowning.
Like you said, the body is completely skeletonized. We won't be able to ID her until we reform her.
I also have records from the questioning of the bodies.
Huh, I'm impressed.
Please. I'll leave the recorder here.
Good. Let's
Mal
begin.
rollo.
Sure.
Así empezamos la autopsia. Autopsia. A ver, use recorder, ¿para qué? Ahora aquí está el testimonio. No me acuerdo de nada ahora mismo. Aquí no tenemos nada ahora mismo. Vamos a empezar por el testimonio de un mendigo, parece que hay aquí. Por la ropa que lleva John Doe. ¿De qué me suena eso, John Doe?
Hey, can you see if they'll get me some of that Mooper's chicken, huh? Oh, this juicy fat drips out when you take a bite.
Tasty.
Tasty.
Qué mal rollo.
Huh? Sam ain't just a dog. He's my best friend in the whole world. Don't be stupid. You want to know how I found that body? It's all thanks to Sam, you know? Yeah. See, we were walking down by the river when old Sam, he suddenly runs off. And he comes back with a bone in his mouth. I took a... And he comes back with a bone in his mouth.
Qué mal rollo.
I took a better look and damn, it ain't the lady's arm. It scared the hell out of me, you know? So I went and called the cops. Huh? I ain't going near no dead body. That's just creepy. Huh? I ain't going near no dead body. That's just creepy.
Pues no encuentro nada.
Hey, if she was missing, was there any reward for finding her? Oh, hey.
Pues acabo de liar. Vamos a ver una.
And he comes scared. Oh.
Y la última.
Dead or alive, right?
Pues sale. De este no vamos a sacar un carajo.
Little guy, that man who found the corpse might be telling us one hell of a lot. In his testimony, he claims that he never saw the corpse, correct?
Yes.
Yet there is something he said that he couldn't have known unless he had seen the corpse.
There was?
Do I really have to...
Yes, please.
Suspected. Ya vamos a empezar.
Hey, can you see if the...
A ver.
Oh, this juicy fat drips out. Huh? Sammy. Don't be stupid. It's all thanks to Sam. Yeah. See, we were walking down by the...
No,
And he comes back with a bone in his mouth.
He said that his dog, even for a forensic scientist, it would be difficult to determine this. That means that the man who found the corpse is...
El resto no me ha dado nada. Vio el cuerpo el mismo. Yo creo que es este. ¿Sí?
That's right. He must have seen the corpse. He then made an assumption of the corpse's gender based on the remaining article.
Pues vale, aquí ya no podemos hacer nada más. Vamos a la sala de evidencias.
Dr. Kim,
Yes, I can hear you.
Sí, puedo
Why are you
irte.
calling for me on the... Huh. I do have the corpse here, in a bag.
Oh, sorry, that was the most... The skeleton had fallen apart, so I had them...
Huh, I see.
Please work on putting it back together. I'll start with them. So can you please start restoring the skull?
All right, I'll...
Thank you.
La que tengo que
Let me know when you start.
reconstruir el esqueleto.
When you do, I'll come pick up the rest.
Gracias. Gracias, cabronías. No me jodas. Pues nada, vamos poquito a poco. Ahora puedo ir doblando. No me sale ningún cacho que encaje aquí, pero bueno. Pues esto a descarte. No, esta sí. Vamos a ir descartando cachos hasta que demos con el indicado. Aquí sobra, yo creo que sobran cachos. Puede ser, o que falte incluso. No, va a estar todo correctísimo. Vale. ¡Ah, Dios! ¡Ah, perro! Hay que hacerlo por todos lados, ¡Qué cabronía! Estoy pensando de ya está. Ya está. Fácil. Es fácil. No, no lo es. Además no es un lío ahí gordo de construir esto. Cuidado. La ventaja. A ver. Vale. Y otro. Joder. Pesadísimos. ¿Por qué tengo que hacer yo esto? ¿Para qué están los becarios? ¿Para qué están los becarios? Becarios. No, esto ya me estoy bien. Ningún cacho no encaja con esto, o así. Ya está, por fin.
It's done. Looking at this skull, I'd place the victim's age. The bone structure suggests a high probability that
Es una mujer de 20 años.
I might find something out if I have the FBI out.
A los dientes los
How's it
podrían...
going over there, Dr. Kimishima? I'm done with the body here.
Great timing. I just finished.
All right, I'll put the skull back with the rest of the skeleton.
Once
Okay.
that's done, let's begin investigating the.
Claramente la han atropellado.
Tire mark. Huh. That doesn't make sense though, because the.
O sea, la han atropellado y la encontraron al lado de un río. Es imposible que haya marca de
That's
coche.
right. The corpse. There may be some exceptions, but you usually don't.
O sea, de una cosa que tenemos. Hola. Obviamente.
This is this stone agate?
Se falta un cachito.
How much force would it take for this stone to break? In any case, this is unusual for a corpse that's supposed.
Bastante sangre no es un dato.
Yes, it's a blood stain. However, that's because.
Demasiada sangre. No. Is the blue stain on the pressure of the injury?
Yes. If this blood is from external injuries, then the clothes, however, the clothes have no such marks. Could she have been hemorrhaging from some other?
Me la apuñalaron por detrás o algo así. O sea, parece que te dicen aquí ya no hay nada más que podamos sacarle. Pero aún podemos sacarle algo al cuerpo en sí.
This. The femurs of...
De aquí de cuando la atropellaron. Sí, sí.
The femur is the hardest bone. It would have taken a massive amount of power to break.
O sea, sí, sí. Yo creo que esas cartas se podrán combinar sin problema.
What's this? I've never seen anything like this before.
El cráneo no veo nada extraño. No veo nada extraño en ningún lado por aquí. Es un esqueleto que esperabas ver. Esperabas ver arte. Pero bueno, por ahora ya tenemos bastantes cositas. Guardamos y a empezar a combinar cartas.
The fractures on both legs match the location. That means these fractures were...
The rest were run over. Creo que es eso. En inglés es basura. Yeah.
That's right. These fractures in the legs appeared when she... How then did these marks appear on a corpse? This isn't...
A ver. Esqueleto. Para empezar...
Hey, little guy. I'd like to get your opinion.
Me?
Enough chit-chat. I'm transferring some data over.
Can you wait a moment? I'll compare it with the... It's as I thought. I've never seen this before. Not even...
Huh. So does that mean you don't know the first thing? Fine. At least I know now that there isn't any...
Vale, es algo misterioso. Vale.
Hey, little guy. Can you do me a favor?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'll get right on that. I'll let you know when the result...
Yes, please do.
Vale, se está investigando.
All right, little guy. Let's look...
Sure, but...
A good question. Here's one. He didn't want the authorities to know that he had been at the scene.
But it's not a crime to discuss... Why would he try to hide...
The most likely reason why he didn't want it to...
O que la, no, que la víctima seguía viva es imposible. Lo de odiar a la policía tampoco. Si tampered with the thing me parece la más sensata.
Indeed. Because it's likely that he did something that would get him in trouble if it was discovered.
Oh, I see.
The question is, little guy, go.
Trust me. I'll make sure he doesn't hold it.
Vale, pues estamos interrogando. Vale, aquí no hay nada que podamos hacer. Verlas tampoco. Pues nada, por ahora creo que no hay nada que hacer.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, there's something I need to tell...
Hmm?
The team that collected the corpse has turned in an investigation. It seems that a type of tick was found in the ground where the corpse...
Ticks?
Ticks.
Yes, depending on the season and environment, various insects are... They normally leave once the body's been reduced to the bone, but some ticks burrow underground and remain there for a while.
True. Perhaps the ticks could tell us something.
El tiempo que lleva ahí, yo diría esta.
Right. We could use
Se
the
suele
ticks to
usar
determine how long the
en
corpse
los
had been.
análisis forenses reales. Si un cadáver tiene, yo que sé, moscas y cosas así, se suele saber por el tiempo en el que las moscas se incuban huevos y todo ese tiempo que lleva el cadáver muerto. Uy, dato mágico. De tanto ver CSI y
Amazing, Doctor.
So, was it
Yes, it seems to have only been about a
Se
month
murió
ago.
hace un mes.
That's not...
a month? True, that is rather fast. All right.
No. A ver, algo nuevo. No puedo salir. Así que no sé qué hacer. No sé qué hacer. Llevo un mes muerta. No. No. Tampoco. Nada. No sé qué hacer. Igual del cuerpo se puede sacar algún bichín, ¿eh? O me he dejado alguna cosa o algo, ni idea. Vale, este dice que no vas a sacar nada de aquí. Vale. No me pegues. Sí. Estoy diciendo que hay cosas que se pueden pillar de aquí. Puedes a buscar. ¿Qué puedo encontrar? ¿Qué me puedes decir? No, me parece verlo roto, pero no hay. Yo no encuentro nada raro que quieres que te diga. El esqueleto, no entiendo los esqueletos, amigo. ¿Qué deberían contar de raro? No lo sé. Los pies quizás. Algún bicho o algo. No sé, no lo sé. No lo sé. Se supone que hay algo. Algo tiene que haber en el cuerpo que no he visto. ¿Qué es? Dígame, doctora, que no he visto, que no he visto. Hago los brazos. Ah, 10, el dedo roto.
The little... What could have caused this?
No vaya a fijar, es que joder. Joder. Qué huevos.
That's all the information we can obtain from the corpse and other articles up to the...
So, Dr. Kimishima,
No, there's a good possibility that the cause of death was something else. The damage to the skeleton is too severe for drowning to have been her skull itself.
Cracker. O shattering top.
Yes, it was complete. Even if animals had damaged the bones, they wouldn't have done that. Her skull was shattered by an extremely strong...
a strong impact to the head.
There's more to it than that, though. During the autopsy, the corpse's femurs were...
O sea, que la atropellaron. Los dos fémures estaban rotos.
Right. The femur is supposed to be the most durable bone in the human
El
skeleton
fémur es
system.
el hueso más duro del cuerpo.
However, both her
Interesante.
femurs were complete. This also suggests that some kind of power...
I see. Also, when the water level was low, and there are no waterfalls, there's nothing in the river itself that would cause such damage.
Yes, but that's all we know for now. It's risky for us. Little guy, get approval from HQ. I'm heading out.
Wait, are you going down to the river?
No. She didn't. The evidence we have suggests that the actual place of...
La carretera, ¿no? Sí, yo diría que...
Right. This location is the most likely
Sí,
place.
por ahí le tiran el cuerpo o algo así.
Understood. I'll make arrangements.
Yes, please do so. Now,
Vale, pues podemos ir... Bueno, aquí no he pillado ninguna sirve el parte de finger. No, esto no nos va a explicar nada. Y aquí no hay nada nuevo tampoco, ¿no? Pues vamos a la escena del crimen. Ah, joder, está clarísimo. Hostia puta.
long skid marks and signs of a collision. What do these tell us?
Ha ocurrido un accidente de coche, obviamente.
Yes, it's apparent that
Aquí
this
está
piece
que
of stone
faltaba.
isn't a natural shape. I feel like I've seen some...
¿Cómo? ¿Ya está? No, aquí no vamos a encontrar nada. En la zona esta que vamos a esperar a encontrar. Por aquí nada, está clarísimo. Y además te lo dice ella, que ya no hay más nada. Aquí no hay más nada. A ver, para empezar, obviamente...
That's correct. That clears something up for us now.
La víctima estaba en el puente.
Yes. The victim was on the... There's no conclusive evidence of how she died yet.
A ver, otra también que encaja perfectamente. Esta y esta, bien, ¿no? Curioso. O sea, era obvio, joder. Qué timo. O sea, tienes... ¿Qué me estás contando? Una señal de un accidente.
Little guy, does this information...
Give me a moment. Pay
thought to have come from a vehicle was found on the area of the... We're investigating what kind of vehicle it's from, but that...
So this means that a blue vehicle... Any other detail?
Well, we can use the skid marks to determine how many... It seems this vehicle... Behind that, there were 2 more axles, both with 2...
That means there were 10 tires total. Judging from the number...
Oh, Dios, what? Oh, Dios. Pues yo diría... No sé. No sé, es que aquí ya no fallo.
That was careless.
A ver, es un camión.
Yes. The pairs of tires are for... Thus, this vehicle is designed for transporting...
I see. I'll get in touch with the investigator.
Please do. Hopefully they can use the...
Ahora se ha cambiado en esta de igual si... No, tampoco. ¿Hay algo más por aquí? No. O sea, tiene que haber una combinación de algo. Combinar algo. Ah, mira, joder.
There's no doubt that the victim had been run over in this case. If the victim had been killed, and how long ago did the accident...
What? How many months? Uno, ¿no? Sí.
Right. The victim died about a month. If the victim did die from the accident itself would have taken place a month.
Ahora el genio este lo podrá, ¿no? Algo más tiene que encajar. Algo más tiene que encajar. ¿Dónde está la víctima cuando...
Yes. There's evidence that the victim had been... There's evidence of having been in a car accident on the victim. That evidence...
Yo creo que no. Bien.
Yes, that's right. It's quite likely that the victim was in an accident.
Dr. Kimishima, we've...
Great. Was there a hit in the dental...
That's right.
Hola.
The victim here is Veronica Cage. She was 23 years old.
Oh, una
It
jovencita.
seems she was living with her parents 8 kilometers from where the accident took.
I see. We're making progress.
Yes, that's been done. There was something odd about it, though.
Huh. What's that?
Algo
The
curioso.
parents hadn't submitted a missing persons report, though their daughter had been...
You must have had a happy childhood, little guy. Every family...
Huh. We questioned them just in case. If you need to listen to them, check the voice recorder.
Huh. All right.
Vale.
Oh, one more thing. About the... like you thought. It looks like he tampered, but we interrogated him again, and he's currently... You can use the recorder to listen to that interview as well.
All right.
Acá
I
tenemos
want to know
ahora
what you've been
varios
doing there.
grabaciones para ver qué tal. O sea, para pillarles mentiras y más datos y todo eso. Todo eso. Seguimos. A ver si hay algo. Nada. Nada. Pues está. Vamos. Y estoy por dejarlo aquí. Sí, estoy por dejarlo aquí. Oh, Dios. Y hacer este caso en 3 partes. Es que llevamos media hora ya. Joder. Ay. Ahora vamos a seguir un poco más. Como mucho alargarlo hasta la hora o así de vídeo. A ver, empecemos. What did you do?
I mean,
Sorry.
sorry. I was just looking around for anything I might be able to sell.
La quería robar algo.
Then we found that woman's, well, his bone. Yeah, Sam was leading the way. Huh? Well, I saw the underwear. I mean, yeah. The necklace was cracked, so I took.
Hey,
I looked around for a while, but
llevó
I
una
only
dos.
found one of them. And who's gonna buy one? And who's gonna buy one earrings? I can't even.
What a coward. He claimed that he hadn't seen the corpse to hide the fact that he stole.
o sea, se llevó un pendiente.
This man deserves a severe punishment. Huh. Yes, these two facts. It's more than that the person who had found the corpse. There's one more important fact involved with this.
Se perdió un pendiente.
Yes, only one of the victims. Either it came off somewhere, or she was only wearing. Where could the other earring have been?
Para poder investigar el... O sea, le sigamos con las grabaciones, que quedan las de los padres. El padre de la víctima.
I hate to say this when I know you're doing your best to help, but I've always known that something like this would happen to her one day.
Nada.
Yes, we expected it. That's why we didn't request a search or post a reward. I mean, sometimes a machine's just too broken to be repaired. Isn't that right?
Sacar una hija, una bala perdida a saco.
But this injury, I fell down while taking a walk.
Ah, te hemos pillado. No.
What? It's embarrassing. Getting old is misery.
Seguro que la mató
Anyway,
él.
we'd like to go home as soon as we can. My wife isn't in the best of health. I have a bad back too. It hurts more and more the longer I sit.
Pues nada, este no se ha sacado nada todavía. A ver, la madre.
Yes, I'm all right. I suppose that I'd been expecting this to
Aquí no
happen
se
one
saca
day.
nada.
My daughter, she was a kind girl. Well, she lost most of her friends and was practically.
Otra cosa que
At
no le
some
interesa a
point,
nadie.
she started going out almost every night.
Salía cada noche.
Oh,
No.
sometimes she didn't come home for an entire month. We thought
O sea, se perdía meses por ahí.
this. I slipped on this.
Me caí por las escaleras. Ah, ya empieza a oler raro.
Yes, my husband and I are both.
¿Verdad que no se ha sacado
It
nada?
seems that
esto?
the victim's relationship with her family wasn't going well.
Dropping out of high school, going out every night? Sounds like a typical
That's not the best way to describe it, but I can't say she was well.
Yeah. Did the parents testify?
There's something that bothered me more. What caught my attention about the
Ah, mira esto.
It wasn't major, but there was some injury to it. And in the mother's testimony, my attention was...
Ah, amiga. Blood.
Yes, she had some signs of severe...
But they both said that they'd gotten hurt by...
You're not paying attention. Take it. They both have multiple injuries, but each injury is in a... This means that...
A ver... Que les pegaban repetidamente, puede ser. Sí.
Right. How many people do you know who fall down?
I see. You have a point there.
I don't know yet.
Igual la hija les pegaba a los dos. puede
But they
ser.
must have a reason for hiding the cause.
Nada. Ay, vamos a ver, a ver, a ver. Ahora lo estoy investigando. Y mientras que hago yo. ¿De mientras que hago? Ir al puente no va a servir para nada. ¿Qué hago? No tengo ni idea. Tampoco. No. No tengo ni idea de qué me puede fallar ahora mismo. Vale, aquí no hace falta nada. Aquí tampoco. Ya empezamos mal. Vamos al puente a ver si ahora puedo hacer algo más. O yo qué sé. Pues tampoco. Tiene que ser algo de unir piezas. Además es cuestión de ir mezclando. Todas con todas hasta con un encaje. Vale. Que no caigo, en serio.
Right. Since we now know who she is, this
Vale.
23 years old. She must never... I don't sympathize with you, but
Haré lo que pueda por tu... no sé qué. ¿Quiere que analice el cuerpo otra vez? No lo sé. No lo sé. Vale.
Dr. Kimishima, we've identified the...
good. That's rather...
Hey, come on. We're a national government. We'll have the recording from the driver's interview later. He pretty much admits to what we suspected had happened.
Easy there. It's too...
What do you mean? I mean,
Do you think that just catching the truck driver will solve this case?
doesn't it?
A 23-year-old woman was walking alone in the mountain. You think she was just walking the dog?
Okay, that does sound odd.
Indeed. Go look into the parents' hop. From the size of those bruises, they would have needed to be treated at a...
Got it. What will you be doing?
I'm going to investigate the victim's house.
A
Keep the
casa de la
parents in
víctima.
custody until I'm
Venga.
done.
Right. I'll tell the...
Se han llevado una carta también. Vale, pues a la casita de la víctima. A ver, empezamos esto,
These
obviamente.
pieces of glass seem to have come. Let's see. Ah, the mirror on the dresser's been broken. It's what happened to.
Aparte de eso no veo nada sospechoso.
It's an ordinary package of breath mints. Just as I
Pastillas.
thought. These aren't mints. These markings seem to indicate that this medication was. I might be able to ask the little guy.
Vale.
It seems there's something here that isn't part.
Ahora te
It's the same earring that the man who had found. But what would? Indeed. All the shattered
La
glass
víctima
was
estaba
neatly
aquí
placed
ese
in
día.
one area. That means that someone had cleaned up the glass. They must have swept up the earring along with the glass. If that was the earring with the glass pieces. In any case, since it there must be blood on this earring. I'll need to have the little guy analyze it and see if it...
Pues vale, ya nos podemos ir de aquí.
Dr. Kimishima, we've received the interview with the...
Huh, all right.
It's easy to sympathize with him. Sounds like a case of wrong...
I see.
Please do. I'll transfer...
I need to pay careful attention to his account of what happened, what Veronica was doing, and what the driver did after. That's what I should be sure to...
Vale, ven. Antes vamos a poner a analizar...
Hey, little guy. I need you to...
Yes, of course. Did you find it in the...
That's right. It looks like it's prescribed med...
Who knows? It's definitely no common... I'd suspect that this would have to be prescribed by a doctor before some...
I see, that makes sense. This could mean that the victim was the victim suffering from some kind of... If our analysis...
O sea... ¿No? Hombre, en verdad tendría que encajar eso.
Hey, little guy. I need you to...
Sure, send it over. I see. There's blood on it. The DNA... Also, this metal fitting seems warped. Could it be...
That doesn't seem to be the case. Look again.
The bloodstain?
It's not on the ornament. It's on the knee. If there's blood there that matches the victim, then the earring...
Se lo quitaron de la oreja. Tirón.
If that's the case, the damage to the... But what could happen that would cause an...
I don't know yet. Still, there must be... I think this information may lead us to some more...
Podemos unir los dos
True.
pendientes.
Both of these facts. The victim was discovered with only... And the other one was discovered in her room. Normally, if someone had an earring torn off to the point that they would have to realize that something was... Still, the victim was on a bridge 8. What this shows is...
Fue cogida a la fuerza. Toma.
That's right. She didn't leave this room by her own will. She was
Se la obligaron.
probably forced out of. That could explain how one of the earrings was left. But why would leave her on a bridge 8 kilometers? I feel like.
Dr. Kimishima,
Good.
it looks that way. The report indicates they were all posthumous injuries.
So these wounds were inflicted after she died.
O sea, que le rompieron el cráneo después de matarla.
Yes, that's what the
Ah, no, la atropellaron de... Ah, vale, vale. O sea, la... Hostias. O sea, la secuestraron, la dejaron tirada en el puente y el tío del camión la atropelló. Interesante. Bueno, vamos a ver los testimonios del pobre Charles Elkins.
What do you want? I didn't do anything. I don't know. A woman. It's not my fault. I was supposed to drive a shipment to a nearby town. Damn it, they forced me to do it. Why the hell would someone be sleeping in the middle of a mountain road at midnight?
Estaba
It's not
muerta.
my fault. It's not my fault.
Sí.
I turned a corner and she was lying on the bridge.
She was sleeping on the bridge? If this man was telling the truth, then the victim had already.
Estaba muerta.
It doesn't seem like he. What in the world did.
Vamos a ver el otro testimonio. ¿Qué hiciste esto?
What do you want? I didn't.
No.
Damn it, why the hell would someone be sleeping?
No. No le quería dar a eso. Perdón.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I turned a
Todo
corner
loco ahí el
and she
tío.
was lying on the bridge. I slammed on the brakes, but I wasn't fast enough, and I ran her over. I got out of the truck to see, and she wasn't.
Ella estaba
Panicked.
muerta.
He threw the victim's body over the bridge.
Oh, Dios.
This means that the victim wasn't knocked off the bridge by being.
A ver, el cuerpo. No. A ver. Ella estaba en el suelo cuando tuvo el accidente.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Kimishima.
Did you?
Yes, we found which hospital the victim had been going to. It says Veronica had been to the hospital. Her symptoms were migraines, visual and auditory hallucinations. It also says she was vomiting blood and had convulsions, along with...
Convulsions?
Yes, that's what it says. But it seems that she had no intention of... In the end, she left the hospital and whatever disease...
If only her doctor had forced her to be.
That's just how things are these days.
Let's continue with the investigation. In any case, we don't judging from her symptoms.
I agree. If we find anything out, I'll...
You do that. It may give us.
Ya. O sea, eso puede encajar con la sangre. No. Nada.
Yes, we can put... According to the chart from the hospital, the victim's if she had continued to vomit blood after, that would explain the blood stains on her clothes. Yes. Thus, these blood stains were called...
Algo que he podido quitarme de encima. Por fin. No. Tampoco. ¿Qué puedo enganchar? ¿Qué puedo enganchar? No tengo ni puta idea de qué tengo que hacer ahora mismo. Si algo de aquí tiene que encajar con...
If I were to sum up the driver's account
Venga.
prior to the...
Venga. Estaba en el suelo. Venga.
The victim had already been culped, and after he ran her over.
Tiro el cuerpo por el puente.
Yes. Little guy, what's the FBI's...
He's already admitted to killing her. Why would he...
Indeed. His account coincides with the...
What?
Well, if she had been standing when she was hit by the fractures to her bones would have indicated a strong impact from... In this case, nothing of that sort was observed.
I see. What about...
The skull fractures are consistent with a strong impact. It would be unnatural for it to have been due to a car accident. Considering what happened to the victim, it can be deduced that something... That is...
A ver, ¿qué? O esta o esta. A ver.
Yes. If she was unconscious, the fracture due to an impact at the top of the skull...
I see. You're right that...
Yes. However, that raises why in the world was this woman's... And why would she be lying in the middle of a bridge in the mountains?
That's a valid point. I guess there...
Indeed. We'll have to...
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, we were...
Good job.
Yes, there were records that the parents had been going to a hospital. Like, let's see, it looks like they'd started being frequent visitors to the hospital.
How many times?
Oh, we didn't check every detail, but it was several times. The hospital staff seemed worried since many of the injuries...
Did they tell the doctors who had been physically...
No, they didn't. However, some of their the mother seemed to have suffered some visual impediments due to a wound on...
I see. Further investigate...
Vale, ¿y ahora qué?
The victim's femurs were fractured and her skull was shattered when her body... We've confirmed that both those injuries are... From those facts, it's clear that when the victim...
Que ya estaba muerta. Bien. Otra evidencia clara.
Yes. Even if she hadn't been run over, that means that the driver was telling the truth in his...
Then does that mean that she was kidnapped from her, murdered, and then had her corpse...
I don't know that just yet. We'll need...
A ver, aquí que podemos sacar.
True, these two do share a common link. The victim's hospital records say she'd been at...
Uno. No.
That was careless.
Dos entonces.
Yes. For the month before her death, she'd been treated at the... Now, the parents' hospital records say...
2 meses también.
Yes. They also started visiting. Veronica was going for migraines, hallucinations, mood swing, and her parents were going after suffering. A month before the victim was found dead, the parents suddenly... An unpleasant coincidence, to be sure.
Coincidencia bizarra. Algo nuevo, tampoco.
We can deduce the victim's physical state from this info. First, the pathological changes. However, if this discoloration of the bone, it's safe to assume that whatever disease she was suffering from, the massive bloodstains on her clothes came from her vomit. There aren't many conditions that cause. From these 2 points alone, I conclude even if she hadn't been killed, she was already...
I see. But if that's the case...
Why was she kidnapped? I still have my... Did the murderer kidnap her? Whatever the case, she was definitely taken from... The question now is what happened between the time she was...
Right.
Once we know that, we should finally be able to see the real... Little guy, I'm going to check the victim's room one...
I thought you might want to, so I have a new tool ready for you.
Someone's prepared.
It's not the most appropriate gift for a lady. It's aluminum powder for finding fingerprints. There are some useful additions to the mixture.
Huellas, vamos a encontrar huellas.
Ah, great.
Spread the powder anywhere that looks suspicious and shine your investigation.
And that'll make any fingerprints stand out?
Good luck.
Bueno, tenemos ahora pocas pruebas y tal. Vamos a la habitación de la muchacha otra vez. Ahora tenemos un juguete nuevo. Hola. Hola.
These are all the same fingerprints. Now, why would she leave...
Arrastraron.
Yes. She was probably... The prints indicate she was... The prints on the floor lead to the room's entrance. What's underneath the mat? Nothing.
Amiga.
Just as I thought. These are bloodstains. Considering the facts so far, these bloodstains...
La cortaron con los cristales. ¿Puede ser? No. ¿Se intentó suicidar? No, que vomita sangre. Sí.
Yes. Veronica's clothing was covered. The amount of blood here is more than would be a fit. But there's something... Blood is a liquid. It should be even... If there was one reason for the bloodstains to be shaped like...
La puerta estaba cerrada.
Yes. This door was closed. That's why the blood spread uneven.
¿Y ahora qué? Nada.
This door had thus.
Ah.
The room is now in the same condition as it... The lower part of the door has numerous... Look at these scratches. Huh? Bloodstains? From looking at the shape and location of these scratches...
Oh, Dios. Sí, ¿qué significa esto? Scratching. Ni puta idea. Oh, yeah.
Yes, these are traces that someone had clawed. On top of that, it was done with such desperation that their own nail...
Vale, pues tenemos ahora nueva información. O podemos... A ver... primero habrá que investigarlo algo, ¿no?
These bloodstains are at the entrance. The door was closed when Veronica... That, along with the scrap... There's just one sad conclusion.
La habían encerrado.
Yes. Veronica writhing in pain as she lost a lethal amount of... She wasn't kidnapped.
Joder.
We can deduce the victim's condition within this room by putting these... Veronica was crawling on the floor. It's likely that this is because of the mysterious... It sapped her strength to the point that she had an attack of her disease.
Otra verdad absoluta. Entonces ahora ¿qué? Qué mal rollo. No, hay algo que todavía tengo que encajar.
Oh, sure.
Vale.
I just need to know if this fracture occurred before.
Take a look at this area here. You can...
Great. I thought as much. There's no knowing yet if this has anything to do with, but I do know now that this fracture... Yes, according to the charts, the victim's symptoms... Migraines, hallucinations...
Agresiva.
Yes. Sudden, aggressive. Her conditions must have worsened severely a month. That is, her violent tendencies. In addition to that is the fracture in Veronica's finger. That's a common injury when people hit things. On the other hand, the parents' injuries seem... If I were to consider all these points...
Verónica pegaba a sus padres.
Right. The hospital record. They show that Veronica had been physically...
Otra verdad absoluta. Bueno, ya el caso está claro. Se murió, los padres la tiraron en el puente ese, el otro la atropelló ya muerta. Y la tiró por el puente, a tomar por culo. Bien.
The dead shall speak.
Muertos hablan.
Let's put together the truth of what happened here.
Pero todavía tenemos que encajar todas las piezas.
A woman's skeleton was found 50 kilometers downriver of the city. The victim's name is Veronica Cage. She was 23 years old.
Correcto.
She was suffering from some sort of illness. It caused her severe pain along with mental instability. When she couldn't go on, she snapped and turned violent.
Se volvió violenta por la enfermedad que tenía.
This card shows the truth of that emotional state.
What? Se volvió agresiva.
The patient had frequently physically assaulted her parents. This same disease finally caused her own death as well. This card shows evidence of that final attack.
A ver. Creo que es esto.
Yes, there were traces of blood at her room's entrance. During the attack, she writhed in agony about the room. The shattered mirror is evidence of that violent behavior.
Horror.
Eventually, her strength gave out and she collapsed. She used the last of her strength to try to leave the room. However, her one final wish was left unanswered.
La puerta estaba cerrada.
This card speaks to that sad truth. In her fading consciousness, she tore at the door. But she died there, and the culprits carried her body out.
Los
The
padres.
proof of this is on this card. Exactly. The earring caught on something while she was being carried. She was already dead when the earring was torn from her ear. Most likely, her death surprised the ones responsible. They then cleaned the room to hide any signs she was there.
Los putos
But
padres.
whoever cleaned the room
Se
had
murió
poor
sola para qué hacer
eyesight
eso. Es que es absurdo.
and thus did not see the earring among the mirror
Que es muy
shards.
absurdo, sí, joder.
The body had to be hidden as well. Their plan was to throw the body off a bridge 8 kilometers away. But they were scared off by a pair of oncoming headlights.
Ah, las del camión, sí.
This culprit, with a bad back, gave up and fled the scene. Those headlights belonged to the blue truck. The driver could not avoid the body and ran over her. The driver believed he had killed her and dumped the body.
Tío, más otro genio.
Ironically, what he did only completed the culprit's plan. This card has proof that she was already dead when run over.
A ver. Me quedan solo dos cartas, sí.
Hiding a corpse is a crime, but the driver wasn't the murderer. The ones responsible are those who locked her away to die.
Padre.
She sought help, not knowing that none would ever come.
Padre.
Her last words are the proof of that desperation.
Padre. Papá, mamá.
It hurts! Mom! Dad! Help me!
Joder.
This is the whole truth in how her life was cut short. I don't know what the dead want, but the truth must come out.
O sea, la verdad debe salir a la luz.
I'm going to see the ones who cut your life's thread short.
No, tampoco es que fuera a vivir mucho más la muchacha.
The medical examiner. What brings you here?
Your daughter died in suffering.
Horror.
She struggled, she shouted, and she clawed at her door. She tried to escape so terribly that her own nails tore off. Why didn't you
Se
open
arrancó
the
las
door?
uñas de tanto arañar la puerta.
There was no choice. We wanted her to be happy. We wanted her to be normal. We
No
never thought
queríamos que
this would...
fuera normal,
Her
por eso
death
la
may have
dejamos
been
morir
inescapable.
desangrada en la habitación. Dice,
But you defiled her death in order to protect yourselves. That can never be
ahí
forgiven.
llega la poli. Les pegará un tiro a estos también. En la rodilla cada uno.
When death came to you, did you suffer?
Uy, tanto que sufrió.
Soon I will know for myself.
What? Esta se está muriendo. What?
Miss Kimishima, your
Well,
test
that's
results have come
caducing.
back.
I see. Let me ask you up front. How
Uy,
long do
tanto
I have until my
caducing.
flame goes out?
La doctora Kimishima se está muriendo.
A year at best,
¡Hola!
maybe 6 months.
¡Hola!
I understand. Thank you, Doctor.
¡Hola! También usar el fondo de Caduceus como...
Dr. Kimishima, the
Come on,
helicopter's
Roger.
here to take you to the lab.
All right. Thank you.
¡Qué mal rollazo! ¡Se está muriendo! Zoom. ¿O escribió algo?
Rosalia. What is this? Someone's name?
Dr. Kimishima, are you all right up there?
Rosalia.
Yes, I'm fine. I'll be right down.
Rosalia. ¿Qué será Rosalia? Ni puta idea. Pues capítulo terminado. Zoom. Vale, ahora ya lo vamos a dejar aquí. Pasaremos al siguiente con CR501. Bueno, nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Hasta ahora.